Whirling Blade goes off, and there we go. Insta cooldown again. This is going to be your guide to using the sword and shield in New World Aeternum. So let's start off with attributes. We scale with strength and dexterity, so we are maxing out strength. We're putting tons of points into dexterity. A little bit of constitution, probably fine. And then, yeah, the rest is kind of adapting and building up as you go. If you need survivability early on because you don't have life stealing, because you don't have, like, a really optimal equip load, then more constitution's gonna be pretty good. You make it to 200. Physical, elemental armor increase. You just feel way tankier with this. You also get all of the health. Now, the story has been built to be soloed, so actually getting to max level on your own is going to be pretty easy, and then you get a lot of natural gear upgrades and then attribute points from the leveling. So yeah, you can respec whenever for a small cost, and then build out however you need, but then you just hit these high breakpoints of like 350 strength, a lot of power right there, and then you get base damage to the melee attack chain and abilities, then some other effects as well. Dexterity, you don't need to worry about that early on, like, ooh, damage over time, ooh, backstab hits, and then 5% damage while stamina isn't full. So go strength, constitution until you get a blood drinker, then you can max out damage to make up for the blood drinker. Everything is good. With the release of New World Aeternum, there were changes to the skill trees, which means I'm re-uploading this video, even though I shouldn't have to, because Upheaval is busted. You're going to see in the guide, Leaping Strike, I'm just kind of taking it here as a formality because we're not running any shield skills except for Defender's Resolve. So like, yeah, you kind of get in with it, but it's not a core part of the build. Did you watch the intro? The core part of the build is Tactical Strike because it still has uncapped cooldown reduction on Whirlwind. You dive into enemies, you go bam, 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 and then you just spam them out and do tons of damage. And Upheaval only makes this better. 200% weapon damage and has grit and gives you cooldown reduction on your other sword abilities. So the whole thing is cooldown, which means if you're not hitting enough targets or something weird happens and doesn't reset the Tactical Strike, then you do a crazy hit that then resets the cooldown on Whirling Blade. It's only gotten better. This should be obvious. I shouldn't have to re-upload this video with this part explaining that everything is the same except for that. Except it's even better than better because Defender's Resolve got a buff on Final Countdown. That Final Countdown used to be like damage reduction above 50% health. Like, we didn't really care for it. We're just kind of using it to get to restoration, which is good. But now, base damage increased by 20% while Defender's Resolve is active with the round shield. That's just a straight buff to running the sword after we got a straight buff to running the sword. You're already running a round shield for shield aggression and then the offensive weapon perks, so now you're just getting 20% damage, and your Whirling Blade is more consistent with a higher damage sword ability. The sword just got giga buffed. Your Defender's Resolve is like Berserk on the hatchet now. It's just insane, and then you get a fat heal at the end of it that bails you out if something goes extra wrong, and then nothing else changes. And then there was a little bit of a change to attributes because now 300 constitution doesn't give you grit on light melee attacks, just heavy ones. So like, you lose out on some thwarting strike interactions potentially, but mostly it's just like, yeah, you actually just go strength and then you do crazy blender damage. Good luck, have fun. I just don't know how people are so stupid and toxic to be like, oh, this is a re-upload, or oh, the video doesn't work anymore, it's completely wrong, when it's just a blatant buff that shouldn't have to be explained, even to new players. As for the equipment, this is the sword, like the sword. Refreshing move, so you go quick little light attacks, get everything back, mortal power, you kill something, and then your damage spikes, and then empowering Whirling Blade. 2 or more enemies are around, you get 24% base damage with a max of 5 targets. So yeah, if you have 5 people on you, you have all the tank perks, make it to where you're just taking less damage, especially with Resolve, and then you spin, it comes off cooldown, and it gets like outrageous base damage. You need empowered Whirling Blade on your sword. And then you don't really need to worry about other perks. Accelerated Resolve is nice, but it just gives like incoming healing by 14%, which is good if you have like lifesteal effects and you're really reliant on that. But if you're having no problem with survivability, don't have to worry about getting it. And empowering Leaping Strike is nice to have, but it's not like a 100% you need this, sacrifice something on your gear. If you get like strength gear with enchanted Leaping Strike, great. Luck, even better. That's all you need. As for the artifact, oh my goodness, you want this artifact if you're playing Sword and Shield. Bleeds last 33% longer, and Whirling Blade inflicts bleed while giving empowering whirling blade. Problem is, keenly jagged baked in means that you can't put refreshing move on, but then you can still put in some other stuff. Mortal Power or Enchanted works out, and again, this is like free Empowering Whirling Blade on a 700 gear score weapon, and you also get extra effects on it. So yeah, if you get that, really, really good. Another thing that makes the Sword and Shield really strong is shield perks are ridiculous. We can get Enchanted Ward. We can get Enchanted on this. We can have Keen, we can have Vicious, we can have Luck, and then we get some crazy drops and sell it for money, but you just need Shield Aggression. You get Shield Aggression for the base damage, and now all the crazy things we've talked about just get free damage while you're also finding tankiness and other bonuses from the shield. You just get and pick up round shields and you just find out like they're crazy. Oh, we have critical damage, keenly empowered. We have shield aggression. We get some other perks. We can have keen vicious on this and then we don't need it on our sword. The thing is, it doesn't stack. So you can't have enchanted shield, enchanted sword, or something like that. But it means you now effectively have 7 slots for your weapon. Technically 5 because you need enchanted ward, shield aggression, but still, like, free stuff. It does come at the cost of gear score, but then you just go light, medium, heavy, medium, and then you have an optimized gear set. If you get Constitution, that's fine. You mostly want Strength. You build into that. A little bit of Dexterity, never hurt anyone, since that's going to give you free crit chance. Focus is kind of bad, so yeah, I could get any other heavy piece of gear with, like, Strength, and then the build's just better. There we go. This has, like, Arcane and Empowered stuff. Who cares? It's luck, and it's more damage. Yay. We're crazy now. Blood Drinker makes it even crazier, but then you just hover your weapon. It does slash damage. So slash, life-stealing ring, going to be really nice to have. And then strength, general, like, oh, this sounds good stuff to have on your gear. Now, I initially thought Sword and Shield was just going to be, like, the boring, generic class, and then you kind of also give up some autonomy, and you're just doing whatever, because you're the tank, everyone else is taking over, and maybe you're also reliant on groups and others. But no, you can just kind of run into anything, especially with the Empowered Whirling Blade, and just get it done. So yeah, let's go resolve. Let's, well, not dive in there, but then, like, spin. Oh, wow, we just, get all that back, and then auto attacks are going to be pretty good. And we didn't get our first big spin, but there we go. That does it, and now it's 3-second cooldown as all that ticks in. And everything's just kind of shredded. So we pulled that really poorly, and it didn't go too well. Also, Mortal Refreshment can work over the Mortal Power just to make sure you get the full cooldown on your Whirling Blade, or in, like, smaller packs or something. Then you're just able to just, like, keep jumping in and diving and doing cool stuff. But yeah, that was actually, like, horrible. Alright, so let's really get in there, do the resolve, and now Whirling Blade goes off, and there we go, insta cooldown again, and it just got blended. Oh, by the way, there's like no enemies left. We got the named enemies and the conscripted hounds, and that's just how it goes, and the dude that blocked everything. So Empowering Breaker on your gloves just makes you stronger. Everything just makes you stronger, and then you don't have to worry about being, like, super fat tank because of your resolve. And also all the other benefits you're getting, so you don't have to, like, heavy invest in Constitution. You just go damage. Now, your damage does fall off single target, but that's where Mortal Refreshment can also be really nice, where it's just like, yeah, I finish this dude off, I spin around, or there's only a couple of enemies around, and then we get those quick cooldown resets, so we can carve through the pack with abilities really quickly, and then get into a bigger pool, and then we're good. We did all that just to go, yeah, by the way, it's just Whirling Blade, and then you just dab on everything, and you don't need, like, you can just build this out however. You go max strength, enchanted. We don't even have, like, punishing rune glass or the most optimized damage. Like, boom, we're losing 2% damage right there. That's empowered physical ward, and this is abyssal ward. So yeah, cool. And then secondaries, whatever. But as we saw, like, and actually, because of strength dex, a spear would be a great secondary, as I talked about with my greatsword spear build, because greatsword clears out packs of enemies, sword and shield clears out packs of enemies. So if there's a big fat boy left, or you make it to, like, the end at a boss, then you just want the absurd single target damage of a spear, and you're set. And then greatsword is nice because, yeah, you can get people off of you. You also have sustain and some other utility. get some attacks, you get some grit in there, and then you go back and you spin around and you get shit done. So, hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.